Hello and welcome to my latest video. My name is Marty Windle and today's video is about the last exam. Yes, the June 2014 examination. Many people failed that exam in June 2014. In fact, the pass rate was only 48%. 52% of people, over half of the people who took the P3 exam in June 2014 failed that examination. Most people who failed, they scored between 44 and 49, which meant most people who failed, they failed by only a few marks in the exam. What I want you to do is, before you start the video, before you carry on with the video, just pause it for a second and download the last exam questions, which is the June 2014. There's a link in this video for downloading those questions. So please, before you start, download the June 2014 exam from the ACCA Global website. Okay, once you've got that exam, especially for people who did that exam, let's recall about why people failed the examination. Why so many people got 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, and the dreaded 49 in the exam. I'm going to go through 5 things that people did wrong in the examination, 5 errors that people made in the exam. The first one, classic error. The examiner always says you must always focus on professional marks. Make sure you get your professional marks in the exam. Every exam, there's always 4 professional marks on every examination. For format, for style, for layout. Question 1, the whole thing in question 1 related to professional marks. Everything was a professional mark, and you had to do a report style format, a report format. Many students who failed just by a few marks, they totally forgot to do a report format. They forgot about the style, they forgot about the to, from, subject, date, title, they forgot about the introduction, and they forgot about the conclusion at the end. So many people failed by a few marks because they didn't score any of the 4 professional marks in the exam. Make sure you spend time, identify what the professional marks are, what they're used for, and identify and make sure you get all those 4 professional marks. If you failed by 4 marks in the last exam, it could be because you didn't do report format on the first question. Number 2, let's look at the case study now. The case study is always a bit of a killer. The first question should have been a giveaway for you. First question, you should have been able to score very high marks. It was a SWOT question. Identify the SWOT for the business. Wow, what a giveaway from the examiner, but many people did not get as many marks as they should on this question. Strengths and weaknesses are always internal. Opportunities and threats are always external. And the question of SWOT is more like a classification. You've got to put the right things under the right heading and state clearly in your answer what is an opportunity and what is a threat in the exam. Many students, they put things under the wrong categories, or in some cases, they didn't categorize at all. If you don't categorize, you're going to lose big time in the exam. So many people, for example, they put finance as a threat. Well, finance is one of our internal factors, something owned by the company. It should have been under internal weakness for the organization. So make sure you know SW, strengths, weaknesses, is always internal. OT, opportunity and threat, is always external. Third issue was the examiner wants you to understand core models. What P3 is all about is learning models and applying models in the exam. You've got to learn the model and apply the model. He's got his favourites. One of his favourites is Balogun. He's asked it many times. But despite asking it many times, many students did not understand Balogun. They did not understand what the factors meant, such as time, such as capacity, capability. They did not understand the terms. There are several models you have to learn. He has his favourites. Look back at the past paper questions. Determine what his favourites are and prepare yourself well in those models. He will repeat his favourite models again in the future. Problem number 4. Problem number 4 is not answering the question. You say, well, Marty, what the hell are you talking about? What does that mean, not answering the question? Well, the examiner is very specific. He's asking you specific things. You must hit the key phrases asked in the question. For question 1, part C, he asked you to identify strategic options using the TOWS framework. Many people could describe TOWS if they knew what it was, but many people did not link to the options. If the question asks you to identify options, you must identify those options. Second issue where people didn't answer the question properly was related to question 4. He asked you to critically evaluate the financial case. He wants you to look at the numbers, critically evaluate. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it fair? Was it unfair? Was it reasonable? Was it not reasonable? Many people answered question 4 without doing a proper critical evaluation of the data. It's essential that you critically evaluate the data. Answer the question. It's very important for your exam. Number 5 was a weird one. Something people did wrong, very surprising. It is over-answering the question in the exam. The question asked for the advantages of a standard software package. This was question number 3. What are the advantages of having a standard software package solution to a problem? Should be straightforward. This was the easy question in the last exam. Question 3 was the easy, where you should be scoring strong marks in the examination. What people did wrong was they over-answered it. They didn't just do the advantages, they also did the disadvantages. There's no marks available for that in the examination. They also then added extra things which were not asked for. They talked about the advantages and disadvantages of a bespoke solution. It was not asked for in the exam question. In the exam, just do what he asked for and stop. Nothing more. You get no marks for writing things that are not asked for in the question. So they're the 5 top reasons why people failed. If you did fail, you want to be on my revision course. On my revision course, we focus on these issues. We focus on exam technique. We focus on giving you a mock exam which is as close as possible to the real examination. I'm doing revision this year in Singapore. We've got 2 courses, including the famous extended revision course. I'm doing it in Malaysia, in Hanoi, and in Saigon. So please sign up on the FTMSGlobal website. And for more information, or if you've got any questions, please contact me on my Facebook page, Marty Windle Lecturer. The links are at the bottom of the page or are at the bottom of the YouTube video. So come and join me on revision. You'll get my mind maps, my famous Marty's mind maps, and that will be a major competitive advantage for you in the exam. I summarise all the key issues and I focus on phrase and identify the patterns the examiner is using to predict what will come up in the December exam. My name is Marty Windle. Thank you for listening.